The Star.
Yeah, y'all already know. Seven the pan. That dude Fizz on the beat. Yeah. We live in entertainment. Sound change. Round the kings, homie. This is where it get ill. About to have the tip off live as a tip drill. From the court to the diamond, to the track, to the big skin, flying round the field, starting five forever, keeping it real. If it matters in the world of sports, jeans and long sleeves, they taking no shorts. So hot to death, oh yes, these are the sports podcasts live as a pros course. Biz market wave, the starting five goes off. No matter who you cheer for, emotions out the window, they analyzing with clear thoughts. They take it way deeper than the force ever. No longer got any use for the four letters. The latest news, score stats and the view from the sideline. Ain't no guideline, it's just the truth. Yeah, no need to dig for a pardon line. It's always in season if people starting five. We going in on three, run the baseline, start five. We got what you need. If the sports news you see, we don't waste time. We talking cause we live it. We got what you need. We going in on three, run the baseline, start five. We got what you need. And y'all know me, seven sign, I'm the illest cat spit. I got what you need.
Oh man, this week, shit. I don't know if this is what we needed or this is what some of these people that we're about to talk about tonight needed, but damn it, man. Damn it, man. We had to have this quick emergency pod because man, the world is going to blaze right after we said we were supposed to be taking this week off because the good brother TJ is about to set flight upon a different land, while me, I'm trying to
Yeah.
utilize this to get my mind right because I'm out right now because of stress. Because when people try to put you in fucked up situations, they leave you with nothing else but to do. But let them know that y'all putting me through this shit right now. So you know who I am. It's your boy the mayor, that DJ named H5, your mom's favorite fat guy. Definitely from deepest, darkest Africa tonight. We're here with the newest episode of the Starting Five. Now, as always, I always implore y'all to go to hooksrub.com to get 20% off your order using that code Starting Five. But this week also, because it just happened to come through and kind of get approved today, go to that w.com and get 10% off your order using the code Starting Five. It's a energy drink company, and I don't know if you're like me, but I consume energy drinks even though we're not supposed to, but I do. And hopefully W does the trick for us here. TJ, what up before your connection cuts again? And the brother's already frozen, but once we get that together, we'll be straight. What up, TJ?
What up, man? Excuse me for the technical difficulties this evening. I don't know what's going on. My phone not participating as it should, but all good. We're here because
We're here because the draft just happened. We're here because, damn it, man, what is going on with Shannon Sharpe? We're here for a lot of things tonight, with mainly those specific two things, man. But again, once we get TJ back in effect and up and running normal, what I'm saying, we're gonna get into this shit. What up?
yo back as I was cut myself off.
Word. Oh shit.
As
And I
the
just
saying
bounced
go,
out by accident.
all we got is all we got is us. You sometimes, you know what I'm saying? You got to stay with the family, and shit happens.
and that's
So
and that's
I
what happened
mean,
this week.
yeah, yeah, big time, big time. So I mean, whew,
Woof indeed, because his connection has been tripping since we was trying to get this shit started. And yeah, man, I mean, what could we say? We're gonna get into this draft situation in a minute. Jamal's gonna be coming through in a minute. But again, once again, y'all, please go support our sponsors. That's hooksrub.com. You get 20% off your order using the code START5. And once again, to the new sponsors, thank you, Dubby. 10% off your order using the same code START5. Hopefully TJ straight now.
yeah, okay, now that works. That's better.
All right.
Sorry about that.
And
Um,
Jamal's gonna be in a
I mean,
minute.
people saw this slide, but nobody. Yeah, people saw this slide, but nobody saw the slide like this. You know what I'm saying? Like
Word,
this was epic.
word.
This was epic.
We're gonna we're
Plus
gonna
all
get
the
to
other
the
shit going
Shedeur
on in this
slide.
country right now. But
Man, listen. And just because you said that, like real brief, like just gotta mention the name that the person that I forgot that I forgot the person's name. I think last episode is Kilmar Elbrego Garcia is the man who was, in my opinion, and most other logical, right thinking people's opinion, illegally detained and got sent down to El Salvador because of a fucking bull's hat and some tattoos that allegedly now this man is a gang member. Allegedly he's MS-13. And this gang Trende Aragua is all of a sudden public enemy number one in this country. And it's bugged out, TJ.
Dan, Dan, but to quote Onyx, but wait, it gets worse.
Right.
He passed an executive order that ICE doesn't need a search warrant to come in your crib now,
Which, I
and
mean, I'm listening.
he's and he's put on True Social that we don't have time to give these people trials because it would literally take 200 years to get them all the illegals out of the country. So he, on his own,
He,
just violated his oath to the office right there.
right. Like he thinks he can just fast track this shit. Like this ain't no Disney amusement park ride where you could, show your band and get on the roller coaster faster. This shit don't work that way.
Nah,
And
nah.
the name of the game that everybody's been talking that he's been blatantly disregarding is that beautiful word called due process. And he pretty much
That
said
part.
fuck that to everybody.
And now
Yep,
with the
he's
no
pretty
search
much said that.
warrants, if you think that's going to stop that illegal aliens, trust me, this is just the tip of the iceberg for that bullshit, sir.
Man,
If
listen,
ICE can do
and
it, they all can do it.
well, to be honest with you, I guess you could say put conspiracy theorist hat on real quick, the old hat that I used to wear. But but they've already kind of had the power to do that, not to put it in the air like that, but there's this little thing called the NDAA where in that bill it was already written that like you can be arrested and detained for no reason.
That
So
was the
this
Freedom Act after 9/11, right? That's what that was called?
no, that was no, the Patriot Act is the one that you're thinking about.
The Patriot Act. Okay. Yeah.
The NDAA was unfortunately signed under Obama, and yeah,
Mm,
they've been had the power to do this, but now, and again, this man is too stupid enough to read anyway, so he wouldn't even know. He wouldn't even know that that was already there and already in effect
nope.
in a way. He's too stupid to read. But yeah, it's already kind of been there, and it's been written in that bill for forever. But it's something that, again, if you wasn't paying attention, or if you wasn't air quotes conspiracy theorist like myself at one time, and I say that admittingly, because it's like, I mean, I used to always say conspiracy theories. Most of those conspiracy theories were usually truths that just wasn't out to the masses yet. And
Hmm.
yeah, I'm sorry, that bill is one of them that's been that, like, that, it's been a thing. It's been a thing. But it's insane that, like, and he got all his fucking Fox News people and all these fucking shills and cronies just fucking just believing and just automatically thinking, which again, it exposes, TJ, some shit that I was saying the whole time the election was going on. This whole thing has been run off of
Yeah,
racism.
yeah,
But people didn't want to be called a racist
yeah.
to their faces. But what exactly is happening right now when it comes to these illegal detentions of what they're calling illegal aliens and stuff is exactly that. It's exactly what it is. It's just pure racism driving their motives and their moves within this country. It's just straight up racism.
Listen, and I hate to say it like this, but if these dudes start running up in people's houses, and I don't wish this against nobody, but somebody's gonna get blasted back through that door a couple of times. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't gonna be all peaches and cream when you just run up in people's houses like this. And
Yep.
especially if you got the wrong house and you're a U.S. citizen and they're just going off the looks. Like, how come we're not talking about all the Eastern European uh trafficking that gets done? Where are these guys getting deported at? Like, is it just one specific people? Because you're talking about illegals, and there's plenty of Russian mafia, Yugoslavian mafia, Albanian mafia. All these out here are huge sex traffickers in Eastern European countries out here doing the same shit these Latin American countries are doing. But we ain't hearing
Yep.
shit about that. You ain't hearing about these pale skins getting deported, dogs. You just not.
At all. At all. But now let's see if the game slightly changes with the whole now use of the thought and the word of getting rid of homegrown criminals. Homegrown criminals is now the new thing that this man is going to be looking forward to possibly deporting to these El Salvadorian prisons. And he's got this guy Bukele on board with it for the
Dude,
most part.
if he starts deporting U.S. citizens, there'll be more violence against cops than you wouldn't believe because ain't nobody trying to, they go to jail, but ain't nobody trying to get deported out to another country because jail out there is different. The rules are no rules when you leave the country. Enough episodes are
Right?
locked up abroad to know shit ain't sweet out
Oh,
there. So
son, trust and
if they want to
believe.
go down that road, it's going to be uglier and uglier.
What up, Jamal?
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
No, and we was just killing time talking about
What's
this
good, Jay?
horrendous deportation situation that we've
Right,
been
man. They
going through,
arresting
waiting
judges
for
and
your
shit now.
arrival.
I saw that.
Yeah,
Sorry, man.
that's
I came home, man, but I drank all day on an empty stomach in Brooklyn, bro. And as soon as I walked
oh
in the
man.
house, I had to run right for the bathroom.
That's all right. That's all right. You're here. You're here. But
Oh,
god damn, empty stomach, son. That's crazy.
dog, I know better than that too. I'm a fucking 50-year-old man. I know better.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like this, yeah, that shit right there, the arresting judges now too, like that shit is just sheer insanity that it's even
It's like,
happening.
fam, arresting judges, that's fascism is here. The Third
Oh
Reich
yeah,
is here. It's here. There's no he's almost like Hitler. No, it's here. That's what they do. Burning books, arresting judges. Tell you, man.
So, Jay, did you hear when they questioned him about are they coming after governors and mayors? He was like, he didn't say nothing.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
he's
Like if you come after,
exactly what they're gonna do.
like it's over.
Somebody ought to
But
check
we
Cash
told these people
Patels.
it was coming. We told them it
That's
was
right.
coming.
They don't want to listen to us. That's right. You know, somebody ought to check Cash Patel's paperwork. Say, yo, dog, you here legally? You the head of FBI, but I'm
Right,
just fam, for real,
right. He is not of the shade that they like.
bro. Look, it's only a matter of time before they use him as a scapegoat for all the shit they're doing. So,
Yep, yep. True indeed, true indeed, true indeed, man. But you're here, so let's get right into it, man. The NFL draft, I think it possibly concluded by now. I don't know if they run into Sunday anymore, but we're here for one reason and one reason only when it came to this draft, and it's the man Shedeur Sanders, JG.
damn, Lord, you know, you know how much I've been running my mouth about my Giants and the black QBs and all that stuff and all that shit, but this is bigger than that, man. That was a coordinated effort to buck break some dude. And I've heard all the different devil's advocate takes on it, but what gave it all away is all the white splaining the media was trying to give. Oh, he didn't interview. All right, show us the interview then. I want to see it. Give me the facts. He didn't interview well, or he didn't do this. He was arrogant. Okay, put it out there. Show it. What did he say? What exactly? Because he passed everything else. He passed the win column. He won. All he did was win. Right in college, he he took a shitty ass program and he won with that program. Right. The
Well,
eye
he
test.
he progressed. The winning part is
He
he made him
well
better. He made him relevant. He made him relevant.
before they got there. They had what, one win. They
Right,
had one
right,
win, and then what he got? He got 5 wins, and then 8 wins in a bowl game.
right,
So I'm like, come on, man. You know what I mean? The eye test he passed, high accuracy
right.
percentage, no offense, like you stated, no O line, no running game, and the dude still. The offense was basically him and Travis Hunter. And let's not forget, Travis Hunter got hurt that first year, and he still produced.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he passed the
But
eye test and everything else. You mean to tell me all those people that got drafted before him, all those players are a better football player than Shedeur? And
right,
we didn't
and
hear
see what. I'm
nothing
sorry.
about
I'm
his
sorry.
attitude or his character. None of that shit was a problem until draft time, though. You notice that shit. We didn't
No,
hear
but
none of that stuff.
here's what I noticed was like, especially during the draft, like everybody was bigging him up. Like, and again, you know what I love the most about draft time, as I say it all the time. Mel Kiper Jr.'s crash outs. And Mel Kiper definitely had a crash out moment on some, like, what's the problem with Shador? And he was
Mhm.
calling these people out. Like, but I mean, it's funny listening to him because like one of the last videos I seen before we started, he was like, "Oh, you know, the the NFL has been inept in doesn't know how to gauge quarterbacks properly. They never have been. They've never been able to do that." But in my head, I'm like, and they're supposed to take their advice from you, the man who didn't play football, but you just studied it. But then I get it in this scenario because yeah, like I said in our conversations in the group chat, like Shador belonged, deserved, should have been drafted sooner. He ended up getting drafted. So the argument like immediate should have immediately stopped. But then yes, rightfully we could question and diagnose, but why so late? Why so late? Because the dude was pegged to be a first round talent. He again for what he had been through and what he's played with throughout his years from Jackson State to Colorado, like the kid shows he has something. But
Yeah.
from my point of view and standpoint between this is I personally just think it's like I don't think a team wanted to fully commit because it's been projected that next year's draft is like the quarterback draft. But there's too many teams out there right now that could have gotten them somebody that they could have given that NFL seasoning to.
That's the part that was trash. And like, come on, man. Jackson Dart for real? Jackson Dart's a better
Well,
player than Shedeur Sanders.
y'all got some splaining to do with that one, but go ahead.
I don't even know who the kid is. I never heard his name before
I do know who he
until
is.
he got drafted.
Yeah, I know he is. All right player, good player. Is he Shedeur? If I had a choice between him and Shedeur, I'm taking Shedeur Sanders all the way. You know what I mean? Shedeur Sanders should have been a top 10 pick, hands down. And this is more. And then the Stephen A. Screaming A take. Oh, teams didn't want to deal with Dion that comes in. What do you mean? Dion got a job. He ain't gonna be near these teams. NFL and college at the same time. Dion's gonna be in Colorado. And even
But what
so,
is that?
Dion can't walk up into a locker room or anything. He can't do that. You know what I'm saying? It's bullshit. It just
What
what I
about
didn't
what
think
did I say
in
about the
was
coach?
the explanations, man. Was the explanation the bad explanations as to why excuses why he wasn't get drafted. That's they was telling on themselves. That's what got me. What do you say, TJ? My bad, bro.
No, no, my bad. I mean, if they're saying Deion Sanders, what you got to deal with Deion Sanders. Who's the coach of the team?
That part,
Is the coach of the
right?
team, or is Deion coach of the team? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like,
Yeah, it's just
this
bullshit,
man
man.
commands 52 players at one time, and if somebody comes in and upsets the boat on that shit, then he's lost the entire team's respect at that point. Nobody gives
That's
a
it.
shit what the coach says at that point,
Nah, man.
no matter what organization he goes to.
And number two, they
All
go
this
after they
is for
on so
Shedeur.
hard.
All this is motivation for Shedeur to go out there and ball the fuck out. He should be
Right.
going in from day one, ground zero tomorrow, head down, laser focus, and trying to be the next Lamar Jackson or the next Shedeur Sanders. You know what I'm saying? He needs to
It
make
is
a name
Shedeur
for
Sanders, yeah.
himself.
He's a pocket passer. That's the other thing. He's a pure pocket passer. You know what I'm saying? And they making all this shit about Dion because they hate Dion. Dion is nothing but pure positivity. Dion,
Right.
Dion, not only does he create,
Nowadays,
yeah, right. But that's all that matters is what he's done in Colorado, right? Dion, he creates football players, but he creates men. He creates young men, and they hate that. That's the part. They try to take him down with as much as they can, but they hate that he creates positive, confident black men, and that's the part they don't like. So I thought this whole thing was just a modern day buck breaker. What does Dion got to do with Shedeur? And you don't hear none of that bullshit about Shadeur's character until it's draft time. Last year, this year,
right?
oh, Shedeur Sanders is great. He's high percentage, and only during draft time. So I don't want to hear that crap.
And see, like, all right, you saw it as buck break, and I was trying to look at it from the football lens of things, because, like I said before, I think a lot of people were sitting. My bad for the background, but I think a lot of people really see next year's draft as the quarterback draft. So, but then also too, I've looked at it as a on the financial lens of things when it comes to football, because we already know that it's like the later you get drafted, the less you can get paid.
Right.
The later you get drafted, the less you can command for payment. And so maybe, and I'm not looking for answers for these people, but maybe that was one of the things that they were like, oh, this guy's gonna ask for stupid money and yada 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 because of NILs. He was able to generate a lot of money and this, that, and the third. Like a lot of bullshit was probably at play in
But
when speaking of him.
Dan, that doesn't make sense because if he's a starting quarterback in your team, he's putting ass to seats, bro. They want to see this kid
Right,
play. He's
right.
a
But
revenue
also too,
generator.
what do I always say about quarterback play in the NFL? I always believe that some of these cats, especially a kid like him,
Hmm.
people, the experts and the prognosticators, whatever, they think. I haven't really heard too many of them really say that he was a day one starter type of guy. Could he be? Yes, in the right situation. He's going to Cleveland. It's not, it's going to be the right situation to earn a starting job. It's not the right nor ideal situation in my opinion, to be a
No,
starting quarterback. You know
no,
what I'm
man. That's
saying?
that's
But
the
the
other thing.
opportunity, it's about that opportunity. And he's gained the opportunity to be there to now get to that spot. And he still has to earn when he gets there. The problem was is why did it take so long for him to get there? And all they've done, like Jamal was saying, is some people out there were just giving bullshit. You heard again, excuse the background. You heard a lot of the the bullshit lines of people who didn't want to put their name on it,
Right,
saying he was a bad
right,
interview and things like that.
right,
Like, all right, an interview is one thing, but isn't this is well, and we talked about Trump's America in the beginning, but isn't this the meritocracy type of league? Isn't this the what have you done on that field league? Now I get it. Teams want character guys. I understand that. But where has his character shown to be? And even them trying to pull and say these bullshit statements about him, whatever was being said about him, I haven't really heard any of that, to be honest with you. And then
wow,
as you're watching him grow in college, you never heard nothing, not a single thing bad about this kid.
nope.
Other than like I listening to Lewis Riddick today, like all this kid did was just produce against with no offensive line, barely a run game. And the kid produced. He still found a way to win. And it's people like him who was a former GM in the league who can, like those are words you can trust.
But Dan, here's the thing. This is where we're missing those voices in the room. We don't have those voices in the room to speak up for us. You know what I'm saying? Louis Riddick was a voice in the room. Now he's a commentator. He can
Who
say all the shit he wants. You know
a
what I'm saying?
commentator
It's
who
not
can't get
carrying.
a job on top of that. Let's not,
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
right. So his it's hollow words. You know what I'm saying? It's I hate to say it like that, but like if you don't have people in the room at the table saying,
Right,
"Hey,
right,
we need to take a shot on this kid, or we need to do this, or we need to do that." It's the same old thing. You know what I'm saying? We're going back to the old boy
right.
network. You know what I'm saying?
Which is like, yo, so many teams. I mean, he fell to the fifth round.
Right.
The Cleveland Browns had ample opportunity to get him earlier, but also too, I understand when you're in a draft, you gotta draft for need. Some teams can always
Pittsburgh
just
has a
afford to.
need.
Oh, well, that,
There,
but
there was 14 that needed quarterbacks. The Giants, Pittsburgh, the Raiders, and the Saints all needed QBs, right?
Yes.
and, and they all passed on him. They all passed on him anyway. But like, word was that I heard a little while ago was my Eagles were gonna actually go pick him up, and I think that's what made the Browns jump up to finally get him because I said it. I said this. I forgot where I said it. I forgot who I said it to, but I was just like, I would take him as an Eagle in a heartbeat. I think I said it in
100%.
our group chat. I would take him
Yeah, you
as an
did.
Eagle in a heartbeat because there is no pressure for anybody to say when is Shedeur gonna start? When is she? While meanwhile he can sit back and develop behind one of the best winners
He
in
has the
recent history
perfect
that we've ever
mentor.
seen.
That would have been the perfect
Yeah,
Right.
dog.
mentor for him.
I think that would have been a situation, man. It'd have been the first time this dude has a bad game, they'd be screaming Shador, man. It's better he didn't go there.
No, and I don't, and no,
Yeah,
and no,
you
because
don't need that, man. Trust
Jalen,
me.
Jalen, Jalen, nope. Jalen Hurts got that Super Bowl freshness on him. That he gonna be all
Still,
right for a while. He gonna be
you know,
and not to go any further into my Eagles once again, great draft, but fucking Howie Roseman pissed everybody off once again with the amazing draft picks that he made within the first 4 rounds of the freaking thing. Pissed
who
the
did he
whole
piss
world
off?
off again. He pissed off a lot of people. I was a lot of TikToks was just like this motherfucker Howie Roseman did it again, picking up that defensive tackle from fucking from Nebraska, who I've seen highlights of. They put him in on offensive packages to be an extra blocker and was a pretty damn good extra blocker. The what's the Makuba we got from Texas, who they're saying it could be a day one starter at safety, who just needs to fix open field tackling. And I'm sorry for forgetting the name, but the linebacker from Alabama that we picked up.
That was
Another
good. But this
additional,
draft was deep
another
defensively though. Was really deep.
right. And
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
see a lot of teams was going for that. So
Yeah.
that's why I can understand why a quarterback would fall that far in the draft. But the problem was this just isn't any old quarterback.
That part. And like you want to tell me a quarterback falls to the second round, late second round? I can fourth round. Come on, fam. I just can't. In this day and age, the two what draft in the history of college football were the top two quarterbacks that where only one quarterback got drafted like that? The top two quarterback, the second quarterback didn't get drafted. That's insane. That's fucking
Which
insane.
remember, nobody thought Tom Brady was going to be who he was. That's why he was the last pick. Let's just get that out the way.
But he wasn't
Don't
he
just
wasn't a
all of a
top five
sudden,
draft pick coming into the draft either, though, Dan.
right. But I mentioned him because people will say, well, oh, people missed on Tom Brady. Nobody was thinking about Tom Brady when he came out, and he fell
Not
into
a
the
word.
perfect situation. Aaron
Right.
Rodgers was the name that I was originally going to get to because Aaron Rodgers was also projected to be a top 5 pick.
But what did he have? He had character issues, and that was true, and that was that was it turned out to be true as we see. You know what I'm saying? That's what stopped him. But like everybody was high on Shedeur until all of a sudden 2 weeks before the draft, it made no fucking sense. And then just like, oh, he should have went
Zero
to the
sense.
combine and he should have did this. I was like, I don't know,
Yo, but they
fam.
say, and see that combine shit, like, which again, people who hate on the NFL can already call it that's the slave auction. Because you know what I'm saying? It's the show off your skills day and underwear day, but that combine don't really tell shit
Nah,
because they
man.
all leave there and then still go back and have a pro day, which is just another version of the combine, just in a more controlled environment. Why should any of that to be an football guy? Y'all know this. The game tape should tell you everything.
That's it.
Then,
That's it.
then I get it, and then I get it when you talk to the person via an interview. I understand. You have the interview, but your game tape should tell everything. Not the other little measurements and things like that. I understand. You want to know what you have all the way to the T, but running the 40 at a pro day does nothing. And for people who say that the 40 it shows your the 40 shows your quickness. It doesn't show your speed.
Mm-mm.
You want to show
The-
speed, have them run 100.
no,
That's
Dan.
where you show
You
speed.
you want to see speed? It's like you said, go to the tape. The tape don't lie. The tape shows you who you cooked and couldn't cook. The tape shows you who you match up with against elite talent versus elite talent. If you had a bad day, oh well, that was on you, dogs. You know what I'm saying? You got to show up when the lights are on. Because in the NFL, the lights are on 24/7. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Now you can develop and grow and be a better talent than you were in college, yeah. Or somebody might hit on you, but like you said, all these teams are different. You have running teams, you have passing teams, you have different systems. You wondering why they got drafted a running back that runs up the middle, and you running sweeps every game, and you wondering why this guy's getting 2 yards of carry and shit. That's not his
Right.
game, folks. That's
Brandon
not his
Jacobs.
game. Right. Put that man between the tackles. He'll give you 4 to 6 yards every time. Stack the box. He's still getting 4 yards of carry. It don't matter. That's the way he runs. Nah, we're gonna do jet sweeps. We're gonna pull guards. We're gonna do trap blocking. Bro, feed him. Feed him to his strength.
Right.
It's like anything else in any sport. You get beat,
You dare them to beat you with your best stuff, and if they're best, and if that wins out, then that wins out. So be it. But
Right. Now,
you can't change the player.
now your hope is to change a player, but by way of fixing whatever their ills are or whatever their
The
inconsistencies.
weaknesses,
Right.
yeah, the
Yes.
weaknesses,
Yes.
right?
But like, and so again, I like combine the pro nation. Like, I get it. Like, you want to have an understanding of their measurables, but that still doesn't always translate to what you can see on film and what you
How
can
many
see
crash and
on
burn?
tape.
How many crash and burn?
Too many, too many. I mean, and then especially at the quarterback position. Why am I forgetting the dude's name that came out
Jamarcus
with
Russell.
Peyton Manning? Well, that's
He
Well,
was a
man.
was it Achilles
godsend.
Smith?
Go
Achilles
go
Smith?
go
He was
Tigers.
a
But
godsend.
no, Ryan Leaf, Ryan Leaf,
Ryan
Ryan
Leaf.
Leaf, Ryan
Yeah,
Leaf.
Ryan Leaf.
You want to talk about crash out? That nigga crashed out back in the day.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
but I
He
was thinking about a person
I
like
don't know
him.
how he
You know,
passed the interview process.
fucking what? Tim Couch, people like that. Fucking other number one draft. I mean, the Browns organization alone in drafting number one quarterbacks. And then beautiful thinking, me bringing them back
Yo,
up.
damn.
The
Most
names
recently,
that
who
they
was it?
brought
Johnny
up:
Manziel.
Johnny
Johnny
Manziel
Man's
and Baker
money.
Mayfield. Both
Yeah.
both of them came in with the quote unquote character issues ahead of time, but they both balled the fuck out when they were in college.
that's what they were
So
trying to
it's
Tim
like a
say
pick your
Tebow.
with
poison.
Shedeur. They were
Tim
saying
fucking
Shedeur was
Tebow.
only the product of Travis. What's the
Hunter.
name? Travis Hunter.
Travis Hunter.
Yeah. They said just like Johnny Manziel was the product of Mike Evans, Shedeur is the product of Travis Hunter, and it's like, fam, he played with him without a whole season. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
Stop, just stop the lies, just and
But the
like the
thing,
thing,
like you
the other
said,
thing, Dan, you know what I'm saying, would maybe say like the fix was in. We are now in the era of full MAGA, so the coordinated racism and it's in an era
Is
where
back.
they're arresting judges. And how do you think the ownership? What's the percentage? Or do you think the ownership of the NFL voted? You
true
see what I'm
indeed.
saying? Yeah. So
True
that's why I
indeed.
was like,
But
eh.
the only see, but and the one pushback that I wanted to give to you in that is it's tough to play that card just because of one person. When all night, both nights so far, all 3 nights, all types of black folk was getting drafted.
And it's true, and
All
that's
types
why
of black folk were getting drafted. So it's to play that kind of card against just because it
That's
was
the counter
Shedeur.
argument.
There's
Right.
there's other there's layers to it because yeah, that's like saying 95% of the first 4 or 5 rounds was all white dudes. This ain't 1940s, 50s fucking NFL anymore. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
but I get you because it's that. What is the other motive? What was the fucking motives for somebody
Because
casting
Dan,
those?
you know what it is? It looks like he was singled out on purpose, and that's the
For sure.
optics of it.
Yes,
You know what I'm
yes,
saying?
yes.
It looks like he was purposely singled out for no other reason than saying he was Dion's son and not nothing else. You know what I'm saying? They didn't go off his talent. They didn't go based off his stats or where he ranked at or anything like that. Just the lone fact, what Jamal said, he makes men. These men can think for themselves. He knows how to deal with money. He's been raised with a shit ton of money his entire life, so he's well educated in finance. His pops gave him the blueprint, set the path out for him to make himself his own man. And like Jamal said, they don't like that shit. They don't want him educated. Listen, I've seen some of these interviews at the draft, and these dudes talking sound crazy, dogs. I don't know what they didn't go to one English class in their entire life type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
Remember
Dude, you need a
they was
speech
picking Lamar
therapist,
Jackson over that
a
shit.
vocal.
Oh, they
Yo.
were pegging Lamar Jackson as a wide receiver, as a running back. They were trying to call him everything but what he eventually
Yep.
became an MVP at. Shouts
You
out to
know
you,
what?
Bill Polian, for that.
Also, only because he spoke real country. You know what I'm saying? That that's was seen as a negative, but it had nothing to do with how his thought process and how he saw things or anything like that. The dude is nice. He has the
Man, it's
track
just
record. He has the accolades. All he's missing is a Super Bowl. That's it at this
Yeah.
point.
I had a solid point that was a counter to bring up, but I forgot it.
it's
I
just
forgot
hard,
it.
and it's the thing is that's the nature of racism too, and that's why they hide behind it so much. Is that racism? You can smell it, you can feel it, you know what's happening, but to prove it on paper is hard because somebody has to admit to it, and they'll never do it, and that's the cowardice of racism.
It goes to what I said about the election and everything leading into it before, TJ. Like all we did was call out, yo, they're just running off of racism. They're running off of racism. We could prove, and it was provable. Everything was being run off of racism, but they just didn't want to be called racist.
Yeah,
You know what,
that's where they
Dan?
lose
And
their
now
mind.
that's not our fight anymore. That's not our fight anymore. You know what I'm saying? I saw a protest again this past weekend. And who was out there? Nothing but clear folk, bro. Nothing but
And
clear
that's the
folk out
beautiful,
there, bro.
They
excuse
ain't
me,
all fight
and
no
that's
more.
the beautiful thing about that this time and that moment is that like I've seen the sense of relaxedness over us black folks and
Yeah,
how like we just sitting back and watching like this is y'all fight. Are there black people out there? Yes, but not in droves like you to see them before because
no,
now under this administration, when the gun gets turned, they're going right at us and they can do it pretty much at will with no repercussions.
that's right.
Repercussions.
Ain't no reason for us to be out there. We told them what to do. We did our part. They didn't listen. They got to fix it. That's end of story.
And speaking of people telling them what to do, which I have my little things behind it, but Shannon Sharpe, yo,
Oof,
Shannon Sharpe.
oof.
Man,
All that
listen,
bullshit he talked on his podcast, bro.
son,
He wants to date his salary.
when he did his state of the union, this is a witch hunt and all this stuff, and people were trying to ride for who they call Unc. People were trying to ride. People were, the instant up. This is a white girl. Yup, we got his side no matter what. Until that phone conversation came out. Until that phone conversation came out, where that didn't sound like no kinky talk. None of that sounded like the kinky type of, oh, I'm gonna choke the shit out you. And then to find out, Jamal, that he tried to squash all of this before this,
Yeah,
saying I'm willing to pay you around $10 million to kind of hush this shit.
Jesus.
yeah.
Like this is
Well,
not a
there's a
good
lot.
look, son.
It's not a good look. Obviously, she's shaking him down. Obviously, I mean, yes, he's right. They should have released. There's more to that conversation. That's just how they got
100%.
down. She. What they say? They connected 100 times. That's what it was. The thing is, fam, in a moment of realness, I look. He's a single man at his age bracket. He says, "Okay, this is probably the last time I'm gonna get the box that's that fresh and whatever." But but fam, 19, bro, that was always gonna be a
Yeah.
crash landing. Fam,
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
21 is only 2 years older. It's still the same box. It's probably better box. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like it's like no,
Just
you don't. You don't mess with them because you don't understand trolling in that generation and that how they get down and stuff. You can't just find you something that's like 25 and up and do whatever you want. We get it, but like man, it's
Like the
I
Monique
Listen,
interview resurfaced, and her
hmm,
saying like, "Stop playing with them young ones." You know, but see, and then
yeah,
like the other thing that I like, just my own brain working in this conversation, especially hearing the celebrities getting mad that are of older age, around our age bracket and stuff like that. Like, I for people to be getting mad that he went for something younger, I think they also, I think in some respects, and y'all can shoot me if I'm wrong. I think some of them are looking at it like, well, why couldn't you go after me? You got that kind of wallet. Why couldn't you come after me too? You
that's
know what I'm
part of
saying?
it,
I think
and
some people, I might sound like an asshole saying that, but I think some of them looked at him like, damn, like, why couldn't you get with somebody like me? Would you paid like I missed out on my payday type shit. But that's not
sure,
always the case. You know what I'm saying? It's love
yeah,
who you love, like who you like, smash who you want to
that's
listen.
why
smash. Stay the fuck
I'm not
away
gonna be
from my
mad at
daughters. I'll tell
anybody.
you that.
Yeah,
But
smashing who they want to smash, but wasn't nobody checking for Shannon Sharpe before he blew up like that. You know what I'm saying? So
that part too.
No,
yeah, so that's why I get it. Like I said, I'm not. You want to? I don't care if he's smashing 90 OnlyFans mile. My whole thing is talk. He went a little below the hard deck, like they said in Top Gun. You know, he went below the hard deck, and he
yeah,
shouldn't.
it's yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's like there
It's
wasn't nothing
why
but
it's why I'm
trouble
saying,
with
like,
that,
how
man.
many times you gonna put your hand in the fire? How
Yeah,
many
dog.
times you
Come
gonna
on,
put your
man.
hand in the fire? You know it's hot. You know you're gonna
There's
get burned, and you just like fuck it. Like I'm gonna do it anyway.
dog.
I'm gonna
There's
do it
plenty
anyway.
25-year-olds that would have done the same shit, even nastier, nastier. Fuck,
With
Dude,
experience.
dude,
just disgusting. Would
this
have done
is
some disgusting shit. Oof, that he could have grabbed. You know what I'm saying? That would have still kept him legal. You know what I'm saying? I was like, they out there, bro. I just like
this is
what
what I
where he lost is that when everybody found out he was 50 and she was 19, it was over. It was over from there. He couldn't come back from that.
No, what is he?
yeah,
58?
yeah.
He's 50. I think he's
58?
54 now, 52 or something like that. But he was at
He's
least
up there.
50 when he knocked that down, and she was 19. And like they said,
Listen,
what kind of conversation you gonna have? Well, you heard what kind of conversations they had. You heard on the tape. You know what I mean?
it was
So
crazy.
like, dog,
Can't blame that
she
on
still embraces it.
CTE, TJ.
No, but like you have all this opportunity to smash all these types. Why do you keep on going back into the same fucking cookie jar? Like there's a plethora of women, beautiful women around the world.
Yeah,
Around the
man.
world.
And
You are a global talent. You know what I'm saying? You are a brand now. Shannon Sharpe is a brand. People
yep.
know him. He can go places. He can do things. Why are you still fucking putting your hand in that cookie jar? There's shit coming to you probably on the regular already. Why are
Yep.
you doing this? Like it
And
it
then that
doesn't make sense to me. I'll never get it. It's the same thing with the NBA players recycling the same chicks having
same
2 and 3
hoes.
baby mamas from the same from
And
two
then to
dudes
play
on the
side
same team
goal.
having the same baby mama. Like, what the fuck are you doing,
Yeah,
bro?
man.
What are y'all
I don't
doing
know.
out here?
Dude, that's
And
why I
you
always
It's
took an
just a
oath
no
to
to the Derek Jeter at all. You know what I'm
TJ. This is
saying?
why
Just like
right? It's the cell phone basket. But this is why, like, I mean, I'm 20. This year marks 23 years in the game for me. So I've been out the game. But like I've even when I was younger and didn't get girls, like I didn't get girls like that at all. At all. And all of y'all know who the fuck y'all are. But not to cuss y'all out like that, but y'all know who y'all are. But I've always stood by and said, if you ever did like, and I never said it out loud, but I rolled the standard of you dated one of my friends, you're off limits. That's what did you just reminded me of. We're talking about the NBA circles and how they
yeah.
just smash and pass the
Also,
same ones.
Dan,
Like I've always stood by that.
Also,
Always.
Dan, I'm a single man at 52, going to be 52 in a few weeks, and my 3-point line has moved as I've gotten older. You know what I'm saying? Like
That part. That part.
it
Yeah, man.
doesn't stay the same. The range doesn't stay the same anymore, and I don't want
Just
it to
man.
stay
because
the same.
18 is legal, and again, my daughter turns 18. Don't even fucking think about it, people. My daughter turns 18 this year. But just because you turn 18 doesn't mean you go there. There's states where
No.
fucking is New York is you're 17, you're technically, I think, an adult in New York.
Yes,
But
yes,
no,
but
no, play in
it's
your
just
age bracket.
Yeah, man.
when
What didn't
you
help him either was that fake leaked sex tape he had where he was smashing the girl. That shit
On
didn't
yeah.
help me either.
On the Instagram
You,
live.
yeah, you know what kind of nigga I was before you came here. I was like, bro.
I'm
Yep.
just saying, man, when you're swimming in that type of money, do you always have to revert back to going to
Don't,
like the
man.
ultra young chicks? Like you seen these Epstein Island dudes, like why even put yourself in that area? Like what you watch Telemundo every day. Go get you one of them broads. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Fam, look. You can eat well off Telemundo, bro. You can eat well. Are you kidding me? Yo,
For years, dog. Like, and
I'd
your
be
run could be
content with
phenomenal.
Telemundo. Man, shit.
Shouts out to the weather broadcasters.
Yes, sir.
But yeah,
Yes,
man,
sir.
like I mean, I'm not in that game. I don't plan to be back in that game ever. I'm good. But God, fucking damn it, man. Like, yo, just like play
I mean,
smart.
go on
And
IG right now.
TJ, real
There's
quick,
like 90 chicks, 22 and over. Like, you can
dude,
bag that are
TJ,
phenomenal.
he put out an audition tape on IG.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
He already
They
put out
just
the audition tape.
Jesus, man.
he
Like,
made some mistakes, man. And it's like he didn't learn from Deshaun Watson. Just them OnlyFans girls is out there on they hunt they big game hunting. They big
yeah,
game hunting on pro athletes.
yes,
And he
yeah.
Yeah,
didn't learn.
and
Listen,
they're in the culture of the NDA. They're in the culture of signing contracts. He's that major of a player that you make people sign contracts before y'all do anything. And to
Yep.
top it off, this just probably destroyed his $100 million contract podcasting situation that he was supposed to get, which it may have destroyed it, but it just might not have, because maybe all of this controversy is going to drive more people to his network anyway.
I think he's good money. I think the podcast is his the ESPN joint is done. But
Yeah,
the
he's off right
podcast
now,
joint I
but
think
he's going to be
is
done.
all
you know
his. Yeah,
why?
is all his.
You know why he's good? Because he never hurt anybody. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? He
So at
never
least in the
got out of
podcast,
character.
he
He
can
was
come back on the
heard a
podcast and
hymen.
tell his side of the story and defend himself. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
But
right.
as far
He
as
just,
broadcast TV goes, that's it. That's it, Sam.
yeah. TJ say he ain't hurt nobody. He just might have hurt a hymen or two.
That's
And
it.
on that note, this is a quick hitter for y'all. Another hour episode, 2 weeks in a row. Wow. But we got to get out of here. TJ, have fun on your trip.
yo, thank you. In about 10 hours, I will be in Central America living my best life for 7 days straight. And
Just
hopefully they let me
please
back
don't
in.
wear no. I was gonna say, please don't wear no Bulls hats. Please don't get no tattoos down there, so you can make it home.
Hey, man, that might not be the bad spot to stay, honestly, at this point in the game.
Man, look.
I'm in IT. I can work remote. You know what I'm
See?
saying?
You're in a good spot, man.
Yeah.
You're in a good spot, bro.
Single too? Bruh, life could be good down there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm glad I got to jump in before I'm out. And I see you brothers in a week.
No doubt, man.
Negro Day of TJ. This the new game. Negro Day TJ. Jamal.
Yo, man. Yo, good show. I'm glad we got the opportunity to chop this up. It was hot. The topic was hot on my mind. It's good to jump back in with y'all, man, after being away for a couple of weeks, man. Shout out to the UK. I spent 2 weeks in the UK. It was dope. Shout out to Brixton. I had some of the best oxtail and peas and rice of my life I ever had. It was over in Brixton.
Word?
Yes, sir. Brixton, UK is nothing but 3 Flatbushes and Utica. That's
You
it.
felt right at home.
Yes.
You felt right at
Yes.
home, dog.
So,
It
but
says,
yeah, man.
welcome to Brixton.
I was like, yeah, this ain't nothing but Eastern Parkway with a different accent, bro. Yeah. But nah, it was dope, man. Yo, TJ, have fun on your trip, man. Man, thank you for
Thank you,
putting this
sir.
together, man. This is a really good quick hit.
Word, man. And hopefully, again, my mental health and stress gets a little better so I can get back to work. I needed something like this, because be damned, you you got comp time, but you get denied to use it. But you can go to work to a place that make more comp time. But I'm gonna leave that right there.
Hey, man, look.
20% off your order using the code Starting5 at Hooks Rub. 10% off your order using the code Starting5 at W. Now we should definitely see y'all next week. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.